has ever lost. Is that fair? Does this stick to LeBron, Jalen?
It does. I agree with the GOAT conversation part, but I think it's an Anthony Davis issue more than anything. As it relates to LeBron legacy, when we look up later, we're not going to actually remember this 5 or 10 years from now. People are going to remember that he won a championship with the Lakers, and they're still, Stephen, they're going to have that GOAT conversation. Then people like us are going to remind them of years like this. This is going to be one of his worst years as a great player on a contending team, but I don't think it's going to necessarily, quote-unquote, stain his legacy.
What do you think, JJ?
Look, I don't think this hurts his legacy at all. And even if the Lakers had won a championship this year, the Michael Jordan stans are not going to change their mind about who.
That's not true.
I disagree, Jeff. The Michael Jordan stans are not going to change their mind about who is the greatest.
If he would have really actually done not 5, not 6, not 7, then that would have been
the path that MJ had to go through. It was so much hard. We know the talking points. We know the talking points. I'm not going to go so far as to say that this season enhances his legacy. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But certainly when you look at his individual standard as a player, not as a GM, as a player, he met his standard this year with his play. And as Stephen A. said, battling through injury.
Well, Stephen A., there's more to it than just the chase of Jordan. Let's put that aside. Let's say that he wasn't going to catch Jordan anyway, in my opinion, or Jalen's, and I don't believe in yours.
Right.
But in the big picture, some might argue, look at his numbers. He put up huge numbers. He carried his share of the weight for them this year, that with the terrible roster around him, that it almost should be a positive. And LeBron James' ledger, not a negative. You're saying this is a big demerit for him.
It is a big demerit for him, and I'm not taking anything away from the greatness that I saw him put on display. We were in Los Angeles on the court at the Crypto.com Center,
right.
Okay, when he dropped 55, 56 points, for crying out loud. We know what he's capable of doing, but there did come a point where you had folks looking at him and saying it was numbers chasing because the team was that sorry. And so when you have something to do with how sorry the team is, and make no mistake, they are sorry, okay? When you have something to do with that.
Go out and try to put up numbers? Isn't that what he's trying to do as a star player?
Again, I'm not saying that, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But I'm saying to you, when you had something to do with the assemblage of this roster, then you need to have more to do with how they perform. Not just saying, I did mine, I did my job. That's how people are going to interpret it, and there's no way around it.
But both of them have alluded to LeBron, the GM. I'm going to tell you the move. It's betting on Anthony Davis. Now, they got a championship in the bubble, but he got a chance to rest 3 or 4 months before they went into the bubble. He played, 36 games last year. He played 40 games this year. If he can't stay healthy, they can't be a consistent playoff team.
But you're missing this, Jalen. You had an opportunity to get Buddy Hield for Kyle Kuzma. You had an opportunity to embrace a sign and trade deal that would have brought DeMar DeRozan there. Russell Westbrook convinced you to embrace Russell Westbrook. And you, meaning LeBron James, the basketball savant that he is, you saw Russell Westbrook play. We throwing shade on Russell Westbrook, really not. He's a scorer, he's a phenomenal athlete, but he's not a shooter. And he needs the ball. You're LeBron James, you were supposed to know how to offset that.
DeRozan instead of Russ just mean make the playoffs and lose in the second round.
Okay, but we wouldn't be talking about him like this.
My understanding with the DeRozan thing is that it might have been a moot point anyways, because it had to be a sign and trade, and there were some hard cap issues.
Yes, it was.
There's no guarantee they could have got him anyways.
That's fair. But Buddy Hield.
I don't think Buddy Hield moves the needle.
Oh, no, they need a shooter. When you ain't got shooters,
again,
they need a shooter, JJ.
They have traded
You of all
away
people would
all
say
of
that?
their wing defenders and elected not to re-sign Alex
How are you
Caruso.
saying that with a straight face if you were a shooter? You were a shooter. How would you sit up there and say, well, they wasn't going to move him? What?
He's right, Stephen A.
No, he's not.
You know, Buddy Hield did play in the league this year.
Okay.
But the Pacers, they didn't do so well.
And the Kings.
Excuse me.
And the
What if he had
Kings.
LeBron as his teammate?